how do I say it in a nice way? She really pissed me.
Aryna Sabalenka just did something that made the entire tennis world stop and say, hold up. And listen to this, the fallout from this moment is nowhere near finished. During her Australian Open semi-final clash with Aryna Sabalenka, a single call by the chair umpire flipped the energy of the match instantly. What happened next sparked one of the most talked about controversies of the entire tournament. Right in the middle of a critical rally, Sabalenka directed a comment towards Sabalenka that interfered with the point itself. And no, this wasn't regular grunting or competitive noise. This was a straight-up breach of the rules, plain and simple. The umpire didn't pause or hesitate for a second. She immediately called a hindrance and docked Sabalenka a point on the spot. That call was by the book, exactly how the rule is written. Any experienced official in that chair makes the same decision. The umpire was doing nothing more than upholding the standards that keep tennis fair and respected. But Sabalenka's response after that was where things went sideways. Instead of owning the mistake, she instantly pushed back and demanded a review. She showed zero accountability for what she had just done. The review unfolded as the crowd held its breath and tension filled the arena, but the ruling stayed in place because it was the right call. The umpire executed her job flawlessly. Now, here's where this shifts from a routine on-court penalty into something much bigger, something that would circle back on Sabalenka hard. What happened after the match is what has fans talking about karma non-stop. Rather than letting it go with grace, Sabalenka used the post-match press conference as a stage to go after the umpire verbally. And girl, that's not an exaggeration. This wasn't calm criticism or respectful disagreement. This was a direct attack on a professional official's credibility and dignity. Sabalenka openly told reporters that the umpire's call pissed her off. Sit with that for a second. She chose a global media platform to vent anger at an official who correctly enforced the rules. That's not just frustration speaking. That's a clear, indirect shot at the umpire's professionalism and integrity.
She really pissed me off.
The details of what Sabalenka actually said make this situation even wild. By her own admission at the press conference, the moment the umpire called hindrance during the match, Sabalenka fired back with, "What is wrong with you?" Let that sink in for a second. An official applies the rules correctly, does her job by the book, and the response she gets is her competence and mental state being questioned. But listen, it didn't stop there. Sabalenka openly acknowledged that she kept pressing the umpire during the exchange, attempting to bully her into overturning a call that was fully justified.
What is wrong with you? Like, I think it was a wrong call, but whatever. She really, how do I say it in a nice way? She really pissed.
And then came the most jaw-dropping, arrogant moment of this whole mess. Sabalenka actually tried to flip the controversy into a win, telling reporters that the anger from the umpire's penalty supposedly powered her through the semifinal. But read between the lines for a second. She was clearly implying that the umpire had some kind of bias against her. That's not a small claim. That's a massive allegation to throw at a professional official with zero proof. And nope, she wasn't finished yet. She went even further, questioning the umpire's training and professionalism, framing the call as if it were malicious or incompetent. She even made a sharp remark suggesting that if the umpire wants to keep making calls like that, she's welcome to do it. The tone was unmistakable, confrontational, and borderline threatening. And that kind of talk doesn't just target one umpire, it puts unfair pressure on every official and the entire WTA as a whole.
I was not happy with the call, and it really helped me to get that game. So if she ever want to do it again, I want to make sure that she's not afraid of it. Go ahead, call it. It's gonna help me.
Think about what Sabalenka was actually trying to do at that moment. She was sending a message to officials, basically saying that if they dare penalize her for breaking the rules, she'll drag them through the media afterward. It's a calculated move meant to create fear, an environment where umpires might second-guess correct calls because they don't want the backlash. And listen, that's not just bad sportsmanship, that's a direct hit to the integrity of the entire sport. The tennis world saw it immediately and reacted accordingly. Former players, commentators, and fans came out in force condemning Sabalenka's behavior.
Umpires already have one of the hardest jobs in tennis, making split-second decisions under insane pressure, and they deserve respect, not public shaming for doing their jobs right. But here's where the story takes a turn that feels almost poetic. After all that arrogance, all that disrespect toward the umpire, and all that talk about the penalty making her stronger, Sabalenka walked into the Australian Open final with controversy hanging over her. And then she lost. Yes, really. After verbally attacking an official, after moving like she was untouchable, after claiming drama fueled her greatness, Sabalenka couldn't finish the job when it mattered most. The Australian Open title slipped right through her hands, and suddenly that umpire incident looked even uglier in hindsight. The irony is unreal. She berated an official for making a correct call, said it made her better, carried herself as if nothing could stop her, and then went on to lose the biggest match of the tournament. The tennis gods were clearly paying attention, and they were not impressed. What makes this hit even harder is that this wasn't Sabalenka's first moment of poor conduct and disrespect. There's a well-documented pattern here that makes this loss feel like long overdue karma. Think back to her matches against Coco Gauff. Sabalenka used excessively loud grunting and screaming that crossed the line from normal tennis noise into what many viewed as intentional intimidation. It was psychological warfare, an attempt to get inside the young American's head and knock her off her game. And while it may have worked at times, it did serious damage to Sabalenka's reputation. Then there was the final against Aryna Rybakina, and listen to this part closely. Even in loss, Sabalenka failed to show even a hint of grace or class. Instead of congratulating Rybakina for a hard-earned win, she took shots on camera, subtly questioning whether the victory was even deserved. That moment perfectly exposed a pattern of refusing to give credit where it's clearly earned. And don't forget the US Open final loss to Coco Gauff. Rather than praising Gauff's incredible performance and celebrating a young champion's moment, what did Sabalenka choose to do? She flat-out downplayed Gauff's win, insisting that Gauff wasn't actually the better player that day. In Sabalenka's retelling, she just played badly, framing Gauff's triumph as nothing more than a lucky outcome fueled by her own mistakes. That's textbook deflection and a glaring lack of sportsmanship.
Not because she played incredible, just because I made all of those mistakes from, like if you look from the outside, kind of like from an easy balls.
This pattern exposes something seriously concerning about Sabalenka's mindset and the way she carries herself in the sport. Whether it's opponents like Coco Gauff, Aryna Rybakina, Aryna Sabalenka, or now even the umpires running her matches, respect always seems to be missing. She explains away every loss, downplays earned victories by others, and has now crossed into publicly going after officials who are simply doing their jobs. That's why this Australian Open final loss hit so much harder than usual. She went after an umpire following her semi-final win, rode a wave of controversy and ego straight into the final, and then came up short when it mattered most. It honestly feels like the tennis gods stepped in to send a message about humility, respect, and consequences. So let me ask you this. Was that loss karma for the way she disrespected the umpire? Did she get exactly what was coming to her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of instant regret and poetic justice, hit that like button and subscribe for more tennis drama. Until next time, remember this: class and sportsmanship always outlast arrogance and disrespect. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe to Fame Report USA.